Test 1 2, test 1 2. Okay, well, hi. If anybody's here, thank you so much for being here. My name's Gatsby, and I used to live stream a lot. I used to live stream every weekend of every week for several years of my life. And that was on a channel that was with several people, so it was sort of a team effort. And since then, that team has disbanded. We've sort of gone our separate ways. And so in the wake of a few things in my life, from my ADHD diagnosis to my unemployment woes, I have begun a sort of quest to explore various skills that I built at my previous job and to try to find new employment. And so I'm trying to sort of take baby steps back into live streaming and into some games discourse type stuff, because I've been making some reasonably successful videos on my channel about game development. So just sort of taking a little step-by-step return. That said, it looks like this fucking stupid PNG tuber filter is wilding out, so hold on. Test 1 2, test 1 2. It is maybe a little bit better now. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a long time since I've streamed, so I'm going to have to get myself back into the habit of talking to myself. That is one of the biggest things that anybody can do to strengthen their ability as a broadcaster, is to get in the habit of, I don't know if commentating is the correct verb choice. I think that might be overdoing it. But in any regard, whenever people show up to your stream, if you're not talking to anybody because there is nobody, it accidentally creates this feedback loop of people thinking that you're not going to talk to them. And obviously, that's fucking pathetic and painful if you really are talking to yourself. But you could always look at it like schizophrenia. Just embrace the sheer insanity of it all. And so that's what I'll be doing today. I'm not entirely sure where I need to be going. I've unlocked so many cool areas, but I don't necessarily know if there's one in particular I need to be in. Likewise, I'm only just now realizing I have not fully equipped all of my slots. Let's see if there's anything I can equip in that one. Thorns of Agony only costs one. That's a really good tool to have. Alright, I like that one. Okay, so the green path is a place that I fought Hornet. That was very cool. I got to learn firsthand why people like her so much. I've been to the fungal wastes. I've been to another area down there. I think I need to go back to the fungal wastes and explore more down there. I think there's potentially something I'm missing down there. Or go back to the green path, then maybe to the fungal wastes. We'll see. For those of you new to watching me play video games, I have very bad reaction time. It is what it is. Oh boy. I didn't expect to get more rewards. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and hit up the green path and see if there's perhaps anything I've missed over there. Okay, I got all the way to Lake of Oon. I never did figure out what to do in that little area below it. Fog Canyon's what led me to the mushroom place. Let's go ahead and head down that way, because I did die down there last, so it would be good to unbreak my shit. So one thing about me, it may have something to do with me having a mild color blindness. It may just mean I have shit taste, but I don't usually like games with really dull color palettes. I remember telling friends I hadn't tried Gears of War because I didn't like everything was so gray, and they struck back by saying, "Yeah, but you played Prey," which we're talking about the original, not the reinvention of that franchise that has basically nothing to do with the original. But in Prey, you're in what is basically like a meat spaceship the entire time. So, you know, it is apparently hypocritical for me to reject a game, especially one that's critically acclaimed, for it having a samey aesthetic, when clearly I have patience for that in other circumstances. But the real thing for me in terms of this game's aesthetic is, right now I'm playing on my computer. And on my computer, yeah, it looks good. You know, it looks alright, whatever. On my Steam Deck, though? On my OLED Steam Deck? Bro. If you haven't played this game on an OLED screen, I think that is a really great way to try it out. And I don't know if it was ever released on 3DS, but I imagine that would be good too for the same reason. Which is that on an OLED, the actual bright colors pop from the black background so incredibly that I don't really know how to phrase it other than to say it works. It makes sense in a way that it didn't before for me. That's just one of those things, man. Whenever you try to explain why you do or don't like something, especially if you're neurodivergent, it's like, listen, we're not even running on the same brain operating system. Don't even ask, man. Because I'll give you an explanation, but is it going to make sense to you? Or can I just say, I don't know? But I'm glad to be trying it now. I think what really got me wanting to give it another shot was I've been playing a game called 9 Souls. And it is beautiful. That game is gorgeous. That game is very challenging and very engaging. I love it to death. Unfortunately, I am stuck. And I can't continue because I'm stuck. Like, grinding isn't helping me in that game. And so what do you do? You know. I really want to play games like 9 Souls. Can't play 9 Souls because I'm stuck. What do you do? Jim says, I'm at work, so no quick replies from me, but just wanted to be here and wish you lots of fun. Heard good things about 9 Souls. Never finished Hollow Knight myself either, so have fun. Hey, no worries about not replying a lot. I do appreciate you for being here, Jim. You're always a good friend and a tremendous supporter of me and my ridiculousness. It's been so long, man. It's been so long since I've done anything like this. And I saw a TikTok that was explaining it was explaining task paralysis and decision paralysis for ADHD people as being a lot like asking yourself to put your hand on a hot stove because your brain is mistakenly labeling things as dangerous that aren't and is trying to protect you from them. And so, much like jumping straight into spikes for no fucking reason, I'm just trying to put my hand on the hot stove, man. I'm just trying to go ahead and do it. Get it out of the way. Oh, there we go. You have to navigate this area in the dark, and I had given up the last time. I don't even know what I hit. And it took me all the way back to the beginning. Jim says, anything for home slices. Glad you're having a good time at Hollow Knight. I dropped this game one day, so it's hard to bring myself back into it. I don't fucking blame you, dude. It's really... Let me explain. Yeah, the invisible spike. I don't know. Oh, nope. I see it now. It's not invisible. It's just dark in here. I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be. There might be a tool that lights me up. So I'm going to wait. Maybe come back. God damn it. Let me explain that sort of thing from the perspective of books. So my friend Chase, for the longest time, was the kind of guy who would unironically say books are gay, reading's gay, because he was one of those people that was just his word. He didn't mean anything by it. He just grew up in fucking wrong time. And more than anything, I was offended that he was even trying to suggest that reading as a whole was in some way a waste of time. But ultimately, he actually had the same problem I had with it. He was just too impatient for it. Whether he has ADHD like me or not, I am uncertain, but he just did not have the patience for it whatsoever. And he also had the same problem a lot of my students had whenever I was teaching, which is the only books you're introduced to... Oh. Dead. Only books you're introduced to in school are trash. This is a generalization. I don't literally think all books that are in common curriculums are trash. I think, for example, The Outsiders is incredible. and I think a lot of my students would agree. But the problem is, especially in more recent years, school administrations are scared to teach anything interesting because of so many parent complaints about every possible thing. I still have many friends who teach, and they will be told things like, "Well, just teach a book that doesn't have conflict in it." And conflict is one of our standards, so you can't actually do that, number one. Number two, that would be an insanely boring book. So it's like you're so afraid of parents suing that you have completely, what's the word I'm looking for? You have no teeth, you know? And so it was already kind of like that whenever we were in school, was the books that we read are just sort of boring. Like, there are better books, but they've had to nerf what they teach to try and appease shitty parents. And so I would tell kids all the time, you know, reading isn't boring. The books that we're giving you are. And they'll be like, well, why are you giving us boring books? It's like, well, because the soft answer I would give is we have specific standards we have to teach. So we're not just here to entertain you. If we were, we'd be giving you more interesting books. But we have specific standards we have to teach, and that sort of gets in the way of us giving you the most entertaining books. But whenever I would teach a book that they would find entertaining, they'd be like, oh my God, you're right. Books can be interesting. And it's like, yeah, dude, like some of your favorite movies, some of your favorite games are based on books. There's nothing inherently wrong with this form of art. You're just impatient. And that's okay. Like, there are books that are written to address your impatience. We can get those. But anyway, like, I finally got Chase reading because I had discovered that I had ADHD, and I was like, well, it's time for me to try audiobooks, because now that I know that I'm just predisposed to not be able to focus to save my goddamn life, why don't I just try audiobooks? And Chase would be like, well, does that really count? That's not really reading, which is not true. Like, scientific studies have shown that you're flexing the exact same brain muscles when you're listening to an audiobook than when you're reading. So no, listening to an audiobook is reading. Anybody tells you otherwise is just scientifically incorrect. It's the same fucking thing. So Chase got into audiobooks, and I told him, this is where it's coming back to what you were talking about, Jim. I was like, you can't read the way you play games. Because he would have games that he would tell me he hated, but he'd be like, but I bought it, so I have to beat it. I don't quit games that I buy. Which is a sort of discipline he had set for himself that was making his life harder. And so I told him, I was like, you can't read the way you play games, because reading is free. Like, you've got the library, you've got these pretty decent deals on Audible that you've been doing, you know. So you can't punish yourself like that. You've got to let yourself give up on a book if it's bad. And that made a whole world of difference. And so I also try to play games like that, especially with Steam refunds. Like, there are games that I'll refund in 15 minutes. And, you know, some people would argue that's not a great way to be. But I typically don't do that with, like, indie games that I feel like they deserve the money for the effort. But there are indie games I've bought that I've been like, you know what, good work, but it's not for me. Jim says it's like making a meal that caters to every single diet, allergy, and preference. You end up with nothing. That is correct. Man, I'll give you another example. So, when we read The Outsiders, many of my kids compared it to a different book called Scorpions. And they would always say the same basic thing. They would say it's like if Scorpions was good. And I went and looked into Scorpions. Scorpions is for younger children than the demographic of The Outsiders. So that is one thing that's not helping Scorpions, is that because it's for a younger demographic, it can't be as engaging in terms of like the violence and the drama. So, you know, that's not necessarily the author of Scorpions' fault. But also, the author of Scorpions was basically trying to make a modernized, racially relevant version of The Outsiders, essentially. But when you read The Outsiders, you realize this is relevant anyway. Like, you don't actually have to change the races around to see that this is still incredibly relevant to the experiences of people in disenfranchised like circumstances the world over. And so the kids really related to it and really understood it. I would occasionally get kids that would be like, wait, these kids are white? I thought these kids were black. And I'd be like, well, their race is never really explicitly mentioned for a couple of different reasons. Number one, the author of this book was a white woman living in, what, the fucking Midwest? Like, they just didn't see black people. Like, that wasn't, they're not excluding them. They just really didn't see them. Like, so it's not like she had a problem with them. It's not like they were racist. Like, they weren't. It's just, this is a different area, right? But I think what you're saying is more important than that, which is when the, like, economic class situation is like this, is there any difference between a white person and a black person culturally? Like, and I think a lot of kids really took something away from that was extremely important. I think I'm going to try to go up and right. See what I can get out of that. I already hit that. I don't know what it did. Wah. 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 Okay, I need to go up more before I go right. Wah. Wah. I constantly have this problem in terms of deciding whether or not to continue something. Because on the one hand, like we've already determined, if you're not vibing with something, you shouldn't be punishing yourself. You shouldn't be continuing it. But at the same time, this is something I want to talk about in a video at some time soon. Growth comes from discomfort. Learning comes from friction. So just because you're not vibing with it right now doesn't mean you won't once you grow. Like if you're stuck on a spot, like the spot I'm stuck on in 9 Souls. I want to get good. I want to beat it. I want to continue. I want to continue enjoying that game. But I've tried for a while. I've watched guides. I'm stuck. What do you do? You know? You don't have that problem in literature, in movies. You know? You don't get stuck on a movie. Closest thing I've ever experienced to that. Woo! Closest thing I've ever experienced to that is every now and then my wife and I will have to take a break from a story or quit it entirely because it's triggering. And, you know, what can you do about that? You've got trauma, right? Like, if it were as simple as get good, then you wouldn't have, you know, mental illness. So, like, it's what it fucking is. I definitely got confused and turned around. So let's go back down. I think I turned around too soon. All right. But, you know, like this game. This is a game I've tried multiple times. And I tried it multiple times because I feel like I should, you know. Like, people adore this game. People sing its praises. It's clearly worth trying. But every time I've tried it, I've just been like, I don't know. I just don't really, I'm not interested. I'm not intrigued. Why wasn't I interested? I have ADHD. And I want the environment to change more drastically, more frequently than this. But then I actually played it, especially on that OLED, like I talked about. And it's like, oh, no, these environments are diverse. They are beautiful. You honestly had a kind of a shitty screen. And so you weren't really appreciating it to its full, you know, capacity. Alright, I feel like I've learned nothing in there. I'll give another example of that. So I wanted to are you a bad guy? No, you're not. I love your eloquence and ability to keep conversation going while I'm busy with work stuff. Legitimately amazing. Carry on. Again, you know, it's been a while, but I've got a little bit of practice with this. What was I saying? You know, because of my attention span problem, sometimes I would rather the environments be more diverse more frequently. And so if it's like samey for too long, I burn out and I'm not interested. I really want to be able to explore and find new things frequently. You can do that in this game. I just hadn't given it enough of a chance. And another example of like me giving something a chance because of other games. So like with this, it was 9 Souls, right? I got 9 Souls. I was like, holy shit, this game's incredible. This game's way better than Hollow Knight. Holy motherfucking shit, this game's so amazing. The story's so interesting. It's so dark. The art style is fucking incredible. Oh my fucking god. I love 9 Souls. And then I got stuck on it. I was like, well, shit. Now I need 9 Souls, but easier. So, with a similar example is my friends were playing Bloodborne without me because I had tried Bloodborne and it was too hard and I gave up on it. But them playing it without me made me jealous. So I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I should keep trying this. I tried Dark Souls 2. I really liked Dark Souls 2, but I was like, I don't know, I think this is still too hard for me. Then Dark Souls 3 came out. And I went ahead and I just fucking bit the bullet. I was like, I'm buying Dark Souls 3. And it worked out because everybody complains Dark Souls 3 is easier than the other two. But that was perfect for me. It's a perfect place for me to jump in. And I love Dark Souls 3. And then I went back and played Bloodborne. And then I played Dark Souls 2. And then I played Elden Ring. And I love all of those games now. But I played all of them in co-op. So I had a very different experience than what a lot of people do. But, you know, sometimes that's how it works, right? Sometimes you have to have a different game teach you what you didn't understand about the game it was inspired by. Let's see. Another example is growing up, the only RPGs I had played were like Pokemon games. So like I remember Chase, whenever we first became friends, was like, do you even play RPGs? And I was just like, I mean, I guess not. And he was like, well, you know, that's not true. Pokemon's an RPG. I was like, well, I guess it is, man. You know, I hadn't even really thought about it like that, but it's not an RPG in the same sense that like Final Fantasy is. Like, it really doesn't feel the same. And then I eventually went back and I played Final Fantasy VII. And I do love Final Fantasy VII, but the original version of Final Fantasy VII, I think, suffers from the same problems as Death Stranding. I think too much is lost in translation, and we praise the storyteller for being so eccentric and amazing, but I don't think the story tells itself well. And I don't know if it's because I'm stupid or if it's because the story is not as good as it should be, right? Like, it's that problem of like, are you a bad teacher or am I a bad student? I don't actually know the answer. People consider Dark Souls 3 easy. Yes. I'm used to the slow style of Dark Souls 1. I think there's a lot of reasons to make the comparison. I think one difference is that Dark Souls 1 doesn't tell you where to go. Dark Souls 3 is way more, I think it's way easier to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. Dark Souls 1 is very much like, well, figure it out, asshole. I could never beat a fucking game like that, dude. Never. Alright, well, I've definitely found something. But, I died. So. Do not have a map for Fog Canyon, which is frustrating. Dark Souls 1 has the interconnected map, and it's less focused on dodging attacks over blocking them. I prefer it that way, taking turns and playing slowly while waiting for an opening. I once saw somebody say that Dark Souls 1 is a turn-based game, and it is very interesting to think about it like that. Ugh, fuck me, dude. Jesus. Hey, we made it. Alright, this is a different area that I haven't found, so. Sure would love for there to be a place to rest here. I don't know how to get through these. Can I go up? No. What's up, Poppy? I believe that's Poppy. And if it's not Poppy, hi. They're just Metroidvania walls. Well, that's a very generic way to respond to that. I don't like everything here is Metroidvania X. Explain what you mean. Oh, I can go up there. Good deal. Hell yeah. Hallow Nest Seal. Don't know what that does. God damn it. Alright. Just making sure I wasn't missing anything. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, we're just gonna fucking fumble fuck our way down. There's walls or obstacles you need a tool for that you get later, probably. That does make sense, actually. I never figured out what to do with this guy. Well, I mean, you see a dead end thing, and you gotta find a key type thing and backtrack to all the places you forgot in order to do dead end things. Okay, yes. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I had just already assumed that much. I'm really, the question I'm asking is what the fuck am I supposed to have that I don't have, right? Okay. Yes, I do have that problem, Jim. Well, one thing with me, I play video games the way I write, handwrite, which is, it is painful to do, and I want it to be over, so I do it frantically, which makes it sloppy. I don't understand why I'm like this, really, outside of the obvious, ADHD. But, like, it's sometimes very hard for me to slow down and use my brain. I'm just trying to brute force my way through things, oftentimes. Jim, I've never really given that much of a shit about backseating. If I ever do, I'll tell you, but, like, I'm not really that guy, normally. I think I have a bigger problem with spoilers. Because I kind of feel like everybody in my life is backseating me at all times, so I'm already used to that. Like, people are like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in the real world, let alone here. So I think I've just coped with it. Fungal bungles. Do any of the new seals? I keep forgetting to bother to equip them, so now I've got to go back to a place to rest to actually try that. So much of my my problems with gaming is just forgetting. It's like I think an easy way to explain it is this: whenever I first made friends with Chase, it was hard for us to maintain that relationship because he would like invite me to things and I wouldn't show up, and he would just assume I didn't want to go and be mad about it, and I'd be like, I forgot. And he wouldn't believe me. He'd be like, how would you forget something like that? I wouldn't know how to answer that question because I was like, people forget things all the time. I don't know what to tell you. Because in my mind, forgetting is something you have no control over. It's like a malady. Like it's like lightning striking. But I think to a neurotypical person, forgetting is something that happens as a consequence of irresponsibility. Not the case. I've often described my memory as being like a rotisserie. Like if you're in the supermarket and you're looking at rotisserie chicken being cooked, like if you were to reach in and get that, I don't actually know how rotisseries work. You're gonna have to bear with me here. I'm imagining a situation in which for some reason you can't turn the fucker off. Okay, so forgive me, but like I have to wait for it to come around. Like, I don't have access to any memories at all times. I have access to whatever memories my body decides to fucking give me at that moment. And I recently saw a meme that said, you know, people with ADHD don't actually have... They don't actually forget things. They just don't have the ability to summon those memories at will. But they can be summoned by hearing the right reminder. It's like the Manchurian Candidate. Like, you get, like, fucking activated. Like, if you hear the right word. But I think neurotypical people are just kind of... Whoa. Oh, right. I already talked to this guy. I think neurotypical people are kind of, like, always thinking about those things. And I'm always thinking about, like, video games. Like, I'm always thinking about my hyperfixations. So, like, there's no room left in my brain for remembering things. A lazy Susan, that is a good example, too. But yeah, like I'll just forget things. And that's actually a huge piece of my depression as well. I got to talking about this to my wife recently, is that I will make major breakthroughs in my life in terms of like things I need to stop wasting time on. I'll forget that I made that decision and I'll start doing it again. God damn it, are you kidding? Look at who's in the corner. Oh, son of a bitch. I started using pinned messages in Discord to make to-do lists for games I play with friends, both to help remember stuff between various playthroughs, friend groups, and just to get back into the games. That's a pretty good idea. You know, like, one of the biggest slurs you can use against a person with ADHD is to say, have you tried making a list? Because a person who says, have you tried making a list, has vastly underestimated the degree to which a person with ADHD can fuck something up. Because we've tried making lists and we've lost the lists, or we forgot we had a list in the first place. Like you'll write out a list, like a grocery list. Let's say it's a grocery list. You write out a whole grocery list. Then you'll go to the store and forget you even had a grocery list. And you'll spend the whole time at the store and forget you even had a grocery list. And you'll get home with all the wrong shit and you'll see the grocery list on the counter and then you'll remember you had a grocery list. So that stream delay has got to be really painful for you right now, Jim. Because I'm just now seeing your message to check my fucking seals. Boy. Man, I don't like the way those things moan. That's uncomfortable. They're literally going, I don't like that. There is a place I can rest. I just don't remember where it is. But it's around here somewhere. And I don't have a okay, it's there, but I'm not going to be going all the way up there. I should, though. The only thing that works, Jim, is I have to change my goal, which sometimes means I forget my original goal. Like right now, my goal is to get to a resting spot. And I'll get to that resting spot. And if I don't really reevaluate after that, I will forget what I was doing before I was looking for a resting spot. All right. So. That's strange. Okay, so the seal thing isn't what I thought it was. I don't really have anything new, but I will, I'm going to take a quick break, and you can take a look at that if you recognize any of these. And I will be right back. have returned. Yeah, I don't think I have anything new to equip. That said, I might still take a look at them anyway. Yeah, I don't... Soul Catcher might be good to have. But I don't know that it would be better than these other two. I think for now, I'm going to take these off and turn Soul Catcher on. This is going to make it a little harder to navigate, but, you know, that's okay, because I'm kind of super fucking lost anyway. Soul Catcher, yeah. Well, that's... Jesus Christ. That's another thing is, this game is much more forgiving than Nine Souls is. It's much easier to heal yourself. I don't know that I'm even going the right way. I'm going to hope and pray that I am and just move on with my life. Because I turned off the thing that shows me where I am. Oh, I'm going the right way. I recognize that. Yeah. That was a dead end, but there's still other ways that I can go. And this is where that person will pop out of the ground. Yeah. And then my my ghost will be somewhere around here. Jesus Christ, I'm so stupid. Lily, my youngest dog, just came in here and started nudging me. So she's gonna bother the shit out of me now. No, she laid down on our dog bed. That's good. Just wants to be around Daddy. Oh, look, I can go down here. Oh no! I thought you were friendly. No. Oh no. Dead end. Whee! Whee! God, I need somewhere to rest, bro. No, I was trying to dash through him. I didn't. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe you're gonna hit him no matter what. Oh, that's a whole different fucking area. God damn it. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I need another drink. Give me a second. Okay. God damn it. All right, I can't see where I am right now. Okay. God. God damn it. No. Okay, we're back here. God damn. Okay, I can't dash through them. I don't know why I tried it again, to be completely honest. I need my my compass back on. Let's see if I can go left. No, I can't. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm assuming at some point I can survive in this weird acid water. But I can't go that way. One thing I really like about this game is that it repurposes a technology that you used to not ever see outside of like the Sega Genesis, and that's parallax backgrounds. But it's got like parallax foregrounds almost. Like there are a number of 2D images that are being layered in such a way that it makes the environment look 3D but still hand-drawn. And I really, really, really like that. Huge fan. Why? God. Are you able to think of multiple things at once? That is a good question. No. I think the answer is no. Okay. Are you able to think of multiple things at once? When playing this, I always kept kind of an imaginary string behind wherever I went. You might need to explain that further. The way I've often explained it to people is at one point in time, a teacher said to me that no one can multitask, that multitasking is not a real thing, like it's not possible. And that sounded stupid to me. That sounded like a really brazenly stupid thing to say. Turns out that teacher more than likely had undiagnosed ADHD. Because whenever you don't understand that people's brains can function entirely differently, you find yourself saying things that I've heard way too many people say lately, where it's like, if anybody says this, they're lying. Why would like the whole world be lying to you about their like life experience? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The fact of the matter is that many of us are wired so differently, we can't even fathom the possibility that we're wired that differently. And so, like, I think neurotypical people can think of multiple things at once. I can't. Right now, I am talking to you guys and moving on autopilot, which is part of why if I get too invested in that discussion, I'm gonna fucking die like an idiot, right? Like, I can't I can't do both things, not with my whole brain. Reminds me a bit of Starbound. Starbound did also have those parallax backgrounds, and so did Terraria, and I like them executed in both quite a bit. I will say this, initially when they did it in Terraria, I turned it off. I think that there was something about the way they did it in Terraria that bugged me. I don't remember what. I don't know where to go. One thing, though, about this game versus other games, like Nine Souls, for example, is that if I'm really stuck, I can grind. Because a lot of what you need are things that you buy with the currency. It's not really as easy to do in Nine Souls. There's a couple of things, but like they're not going to be that helpful, really. I could think on autopilot and kind of back burner things while I have another part of my mind moving around. I'll put it to you this way. When I was teaching, kids would ask if they could listen to music while they worked. And I would say no most of the time. Because I had been, again, misinformed about how multitasking worked. And I would say no, because then you're going to be distracted by the music. And then those kids wouldn't do shit. Because I was actually robbing them of one of their only coping mechanisms for their undiagnosed ADHD. Which is when you have ADHD, you're almost never the appropriate amount of stimulated. You're often overstimulated or understimulated. People with autism are way more frequently overstimulated and need like isolation techniques. Like they need to be able to like work in private. They need to be able to have like noise canceling headphones. They need to be able to like get all of the excess bullshit out of their brain so that they can focus. That does happen to people with ADHD, but the people with ADHD also have understimulation, which is often mislabeled as just normal boredom. And, you know, if you're complaining you can't do your work because you're bored, your teacher's going to go, wow, well, then you're an asshole. But in reality, what they mean is I'm understimulated. My brain is refusing to participate because it doesn't feel like I've given it enough fucking dopamine to buy this transaction of work. So, realistically, if you're understimulated, you do need to multitask in order to like force your brain to do the thing. For me, one thing that has helped is just recognizing and saying to myself very clearly, you are overstimulated or you are understimulated. Recognizing which of those things I am in that moment and making a plan based on that. So like if I'm overstimulated, I make it a point to not listen to music, to not multitask and do a game or a show at the same time as something else, and to just do the thing. Because at that moment, what's really happening is like the backup activity that's happening is my thoughts. Like I've got too much going on in my brain, so I just need to give myself some silence to do dishes and be burdened by my abundance of thoughts. But if I'm not experiencing overstimulation, if I'm understimulated, then I just don't want to do the goddamn dishes. Then I need to trick myself into doing it by making them fun, and that means listening to podcasts or something, or you know, just whatever works. And, you know, growing up, adults... Hold on, I'm getting a spam call. Yep, 100%. That's the only phone calls I get. Growing up, if your parents don't know anything about ADHD, they will just tell you you're being lazy and tell you, you know, you don't get rewarded for refusing to do your work. Like, with fucking music and TV and shit. Just do your goddamn work, and that's a mistake. Another example is, you know, I currently see a therapist, and I do have a problem of comfort eating, and that's why I gained a lot of weight there. But at the same time, I needed comfort. Like, I needed comfort, self-soothing, like, skills, and I didn't have any other ones. So, like, what I did wasn't necessarily wrong for my mental health. It was just bad for my overall, like, physical fitness. But I took that as a sacrifice I had to take in that time of my life. And now I'm trying to have other mechanisms. I'm trying to recognize that if I want to eat, maybe there's something else I can do, like play a video game or something, instead of making myself fatter. Jesus, I can't believe I just did that. I wish there was an easier way for me to get around. Like, I understand that I am unlocking the little, like, subway stations as I go along, but, like, not frequently enough. I'll put it to you this way in terms of your semi-concerning cigarettes as a kid statement. So growing up, I once again attribute this to being undiagnosed ADHD. I think that a lot of parents are used to their experience as a child and knowing that they didn't listen to their parents. So they already assume their children are not going to listen to them. So they are like weirdly reiterative of things. Like they have to like burn it into your head without even considering their kid might not be anything like them. Like their kid might listen to them, but because they're so insistent, instead of learning something, they're kind of traumatizing their kid. And so, you know, growing up, I was told, you know, don't do drugs, don't have premarital sex, don't drink, don't do any of these things. It'll ruin your life. And I listened. And don't get me wrong, all of those things are good pieces of advice without any sort of nuance. And once you become an adult and you are willing to experiment with things as an adult, that's your prerogative to do within the context of your own life. But I wasn't doing that. So it took me a really long time to find like a girlfriend because I was like super duper, what's the word I'm looking for? I came off as being this weirdly holier than thou incel almost. And you know, I don't think a lot of people understood like why I was what was essentially a teetotaler, why I didn't smoke, why I didn't drink. You know, like they thought that I was like a snob, when in reality it was just like, no, my mom said don't do it, I didn't do it. It's like I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude. And then, you know, once I finally allowed myself to experiment with a few of those things, you know, like the fucking very first person I had premarital sex with, I later married the very first person after a significant period of heartbreak. Not the first person ever, but and then like, you know, once I started experimenting with alcohol, I just realized, oh, I don't like this. That was easy. And then whenever I started experimenting with legal forms of marijuana, I was like, oh, this is actually tremendously good for anxiety. Got my mom on that and cured her alcoholism. So, you know, like there's a lot of important nuance to these things that aren't always recognized. And again, I think a key factor there is adulthood. Like, you know, all of these are great advice for a child, but like once you're an adult, you can be think about these things more subtly. God damn it. Okay, I don't know what to do here. think I've already done everything there is to do here. I'm going to go left from here. Ah. Okay, I remember this. I got to a point to where there was nothing else I could do. Like I did unlock some things, but like I got stuck. I'm trying to think of any direction I can nudge you in. The best I remember is that the mantises let you wall jump, I'm pretty sure. Oh. Huh. It's interesting. And that would probably be how I got over that. So you gotta go back and fight the fucking mantises. Hey, can you guys give me a check of how significant the delay is right now? It feels pretty significant. So the moment I say piglet in chat. Okay, that's not so bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Thank you very much. Okay, when are you going to say it? All right, for you, Poppy, I'll say it again right now. Piglet. Thank you so much, Poppy. Oh! Oh, this is good. I don't know if you can hear him, but that's the map guy. No! I need the map guy. Son of a bitch. You know, I've started Tarkov again now that they finally released on Steam, no less, and playing PvE without enemy players, but the option to do co-op with friends without dealing with hackers, campers, or hardcore players is really nice. Love the gameplay of Tarkov, just not the community. Yeah, I've never played Tarkov, but I began playing Arc Raiders, which is very similar, and I like it a lot. It's just that I'm mostly playing by myself because not a lot of my friends are playing, and the friends that are playing either are not available at the same time as me or they like PvP, and I don't really want to do PvP. So, you know, kind of fucked. Okay, thank you for that information about the bench within the Mantis area. That is probably going to be really helpful. Christ. No, wait, I probably do have to go this way. If you want, I can ask an American homie of mine if they'd want to play with you at some point. They're really nice and don't seem to be too PvP focused either. That's very kind of you. I wouldn't say no. Where? 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 Hmm. Mm. Okay, so this is where I saw Hornet. But she crosses over there, and there's no way for me to get across just yet. Oh yeah, the mushrooms are cool. The little bouncy ones. Okay, so these guys. Well, if it bleeds, we can kill it. That's good. God damn it. Okay, good deal. Yeah, you're doing it, Peter. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right. Oh, no, 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 didn't see you. Literally didn't fucking see that person. Christ. Well, I'm going to assume that does something good. There's a lot going on over there. That lever lets you win the game. How awesome. Hey, thank you so much for the point in the right direction. Ah, that feels so good. Oh, it's so good to have a wall jump now. That's so awesome. Yeah. Ah. You know what? I need to go ahead and check this out. Hmm. Okay. Ah, God damn it. It's okay though that I've got the claws now, which is awesome. So yeah, that's gonna make things a lot easier for sure. Oh. Okay, hold on. Ah, that's gonna be so hard. Ah. Oh, fuck me. Hell yeah. Good deal. I'm gonna check some things out though. Now that I can wall jump, see if that makes any difference in some of these areas that I've been kind of unsure of what to do. Up. Yep, I didn't see your message about the bench until now. Should have went to the bench. Yeah, I can go through here now. Oh, no. No. What the fuck? Cool. Me, 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 me. My battery is dying, so I gotta go, but bye. I'm so glad you came out for a little while anyway, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. You take care. Oh, no. Panic. So, back on the topic of dealing with executive dysfunction and decision paralysis and things like that, when I was looking at coping techniques for dealing with those things, one of the suggested ones was, I forget what the term for it was, but it was essentially just asking somebody to watch you. Like having company while you do the thing. And I immediately thought of streaming. And I've never really wanted to like do any of my development while somebody watches. I don't think I'd be able to focus, but at the same time, whenever I am in a situation I am in right now, where working on my Unity project is very daunting, and it's a lot like putting my hand on a hot stove, that might be the kind of thing that breaks me out of that habit, is to do the next part with somebody watching, sort of verbalizing my problems, trying different things, and just getting through the issue. So it's something I've considered, but I don't really want to. I originally was trying to go with some very radical transparency and to do a lot of my development on camera so that I could be like, hey, you know, to eliminate some of the taboo of what this looks like whenever you're using AI to assist with coding, and so that you understand that this is not a situation of like somebody's artistry being plagiarized. This is very different than that. Here's what that looks like. And instead, a lot of what I recorded was just humiliating, absolutely humiliating, because I had switched from one service to another, and because the service I was using was too expensive, and you get what you pay for. I switched to another one that was just fucking ignorant, and it's just like, this is not something I really want to showcase. I feel like it's not putting my best foot forward. So yeah, that wound up not being something I focused on, and instead I just sort of took the approach of, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. Nobody has the context of what it is you're doing right now. Just work independently and in quiet for a while, and make your little videos explaining what you've accomplished. But again, still trying to think of coping mechanisms for whenever I get into these ruts to get back out of them and to continue working and experimenting. Oh, thank you very much. I'm getting way better at the descent portion. That's extremely validating to hear, and I appreciate that. I am curious if having this wall jump is a key to getting to where Hornet is. I don't necessarily know that it has anything to do with anything, but it might still be worth looking into. So we're going to go ahead and take a peek. Yep, sure enough. God damn it. Ah! Oh boy. Bridge. Hell yeah. Oh, would you look at that? Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't like that. Don't want to fight you. I'm just not gonna fuck with that. Yeah, these guys are fucking intense, dude. Come the fuck on. Oh, there we go. Jim says, grow up. What, the whales of the damned are unsettling to you? Back in my day, we experienced constant deafening torment. Hey there, bud. Oh, nope. I want to talk to you. Hurt, 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 hurt. City of Tears. Sounds important. This seems good. I don't have enough geo. I appreciate everything you said about my fighting. Well, that's pretty interesting. Something I should keep in mind for later. So that's where that is. I am waiting on an important email, so I am checking this Bingle Bop. Nope, not the email I'm waiting on. Let's see if I've missed it. No. my current temporary job, which I'm technically on the clock for now, is extremely low stakes. I answer the phone when the phone rings, which is extremely rare, and it has come to an end sooner than I expected. My last day is tomorrow, so I am following up on a possible job and trying to get some more information, even though it's not quite time for me to get my update yet. Hi, Hornet. It's no wonder people wanted a whole game based on her, man. She's cool. Yeah, I've been in a really sort of awkward situation where, as many job opportunities sometimes are, until I know for sure if I have it, I can't really talk about it. But I'm very excited for it. I hope it winds up being a position that actually happens. Just unsure yet whether or not it will, because I am so excited to talk about it. And just can't yet. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate that. Oh boy, fatty. Oh no. Oh no. No, son of a bitch. Hey, at least I'm not actually that far. I just don't have a map, so who fucking knows, man. Alright, I have a general inkling of where I need to be. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch! Oh, I can swim in this. Oh, hi. Oh, I can sell things here? That's awesome. You gotta be fucking kidding me. There's fucking spikes on the elevator? God, I've got such little health and so much money. I just need to get back. God damn it! Hey, I got my money back. I didn't know for sure that I would. God damn it, no! Alright, at least I can get back to that place pretty easily. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man.
danger. Jonsha. Garadel Akari. Vendasu.
Okay, I don't have that. Realistically, I should try to get home and spend some money, or at least bank it. Ooh. What? Okay, so I can't go back this way. How am I supposed to get home? Yeah, I can't go back the way I came. The door's blocked. And the place where you slot in the crest is on the other side, and it's not like I have any crests anymore anyway because I sold them. Yeah, for real, what a pain. I don't think I fully explored this path. This might be how I'm supposed to get out. Yeah. Oh, shit. You've got more? That's bullshit. Shouldn't just have infinite lances, dude. That's fucked up. God damn. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. Shit. There's more? More rancid eggs. Never really found out what those were for. Oh, shit. God damn. Oh, I went up. Ah! No! Ah! Okay, I did unlock a shortcut, I believe. I don't remember which of these fucking elevators it was. Oh. Yeah. I'm close. Hey. Man, am I about to find Mappy Guy? So cute. Hell yeah. Man, took us a bit, but we did find quite a bit of progress. Oh, look who it is. Thank you so much, Jim. Very kind of you to say. So what the fuck was the point of that room? Oh, simple key. I think I can use that way back at the beginning of the game. Man, what that reminds me is whenever Candy and I started living together, so she would be really mean to me when I forgot to do certain chores, and she would have nothing to say to me if I didn't forget, and I would point that out. And she'd be like, I don't understand. Do you want me to praise you? And I was like, yeah. No shit. And again, I think that's an ADHD thing. Like, that's like you are unable to like produce your own validation at all. So it's like, why is nobody validating me? Why would I even bother doing anything if no one is validating me? Oh, how wonderful. Another stag station. That means I can go back and try this key. All right.
Really? Oh boy, oh boy.
Welcome, small intruder. Oh, I bet you can, like, pay her to get your missing souls or whatever. Because I don't have a broken thing right now, so that's pretty cool.
Bafanada.
Do you find yourself leaving a lot of Geo behind? Oh, that's like a magnet. Okay. Okay, Jim. Thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'm going to end the stream for now. I think this was a good little test, and I think my dogs need to go potty, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and handle that. But truly, truly appreciate it. And if anybody's watching the VOD of this, let me know if you want to see more streams. Thanks again, bud. Take care.